What the fuck happened to Tony Ferguson? This man was on an absolutely generational run. 12-fight win streak, just for it all to come crumbling down. Go on an 8-fight losing streak, and now he's boxing Salt Papi at MISFITS. What the frick, dude? Crazy downfall of Tony Ferguson. This tragic death of a career. Because the dude was on track to becoming the lightweight champion, and he was supposed to fight Khabib. The fight got cancelled 5 times, all for different reasons. Number 1, Khabib had a rib injury. It was supposed to be a tough finale, tough 22 for finale. Ferguson actually ended up fighting Edson Barboza instead of Khabib, but it wasn't the fight that was supposed to happen. And then again, April 16th, 2016, Ferguson pulled out because he had issues with his lung 11 days before the fight was supposed to happen. It's like the MMA gods did not want this fight to happen for some reason. I don't know why. But 5 times. March 4th, 2017, Khabib was hospitalized a day before the fight was supposed to happen because of a bad weight cut, bro. He was sent to hospital a day before the event. And you think the UFC would be like, you know what, cancelled 3 times, maybe we should just leave it. But no, they tried again a year later. This one's ridiculous. The fight got cancelled because Tony Ferguson tripped over a TV cable. And he tore his knee. What the fuck, bro? Like, when I heard that, I thought it was a joke. Surely that's a joke, but no, it's legit. And then it got cancelled again in April 2020 because of the global pandemic, because Khabib couldn't travel. This is where the downfall started. So Tony Ferguson ended up fighting Justin Gaethje. Now this is where it all falls down, because Gaethje beat this man like a 50s housewife for 5 straight rounds. Like 5 rounds just beating the shit out of Tony Ferguson, bro. It was like a different fighter was in there, because this Tony Ferguson was on an absolute roll, a 12-fight win streak like we've just been saying. And he came in there against Gaethje, and Gaethje just fucked him up, like, so bad. It was so bad. It was a tough watch. Initially, people might think, well, you know what? Shit happens. Alright, shit happens. You know, you lose a fight, you'll bounce back. That was May 2020. He hasn't won a fight since. He's not won a single fight since that fight. It's crazy that he lost to Charles, Dariush, Michael Chandler, Nate Diaz, Bobby Green, Paddy Pimblett, and Michael Chiesa. Just to top it all off, just chuck a little Michael Chiesa in there. It's so weird how one loss really changed this man's whole career. I mean, you look at the Charles fight, just dominated him, grappled him to fuck. Dariush beat him. Michael Chandler, the nastiest KO I have seen in a very, very long time on anyone. Vicious up kick. It was unbelievable. Tony's face changed. Just look at Tony's face. It morphed. He looks like a blobfish. He lost to Nate Diaz, the absolute bum of the UFC, via submission. Then he gets pieced up by Bobby Green. He just looks so good in there. But Bobby Green dominated him. And then Paddy Pimblett. It wasn't enough. Paddy got the win, man. And then he fought Chiesa and got submitted. Are you going to call it now? Are you going to stop fighting? Maybe this is a sign that you're not really, you know, cut out for this shit anymore. He goes, no, I'm going to go fight Salt Papi in MISFITS boxing. The downfall is unbelievable. And there's a lot of reasons why Tony's career went the way it was. I mean, he was old, alright. He was getting on in his career. The older side of 30. It's not good. And, you know, injuries and everything like that. It's not a good mix of things. And maybe Tony just couldn't keep up. Maybe due to his age and his injuries. If you're getting submitted by Michael Chiesa, there's a problem there, you know what I mean? Like, Chiesa's shit. It's not just the fans, bro, that are recognising this downfall, that were recognising this downfall. Saying what needs to be said about this guy, like, how he's just not where he once was. It seems like he's surrounded himself with a bunch of yes men, and he's just blanking out all this criticism from, like, fighters, analysts. Justin Gaethje said, I took a piece of his soul. that night. He did. Because after that fight, he was gone. Michael Chandler, Tony's a legend. I hope he's okay, but this is a young man's game. Ironic, Michael, considering you're literally 40. And you got Charles. He's a tough guy. I did what no one had done to him before. And that's true. He really just ragdolled him, out-grappled him. And when we got, Joe Rogan on his podcast saying that the Gaethje fight changed him. He took so much damage. You don't come back from that easily. Cormier says it as well. Tony Ferguson needs someone to tell him the truth. This isn't the same guy anymore. It's what I was saying about him being surrounded by a bunch of yes men. They don't want to tell him no. But people were just concerned. People were just concerned for him. And he seemed to not listen to anything and just thought, you know what, I'm just going to crack on anyway. When you're losing to Bobby Green, I like Bobby Green. But when you're losing to Bobby Green, when you were once on top, interim champion, when you were interim champion and you were about to fight for the title and you're losing to Bobby Green, maybe that's a sign to hang up the gloves. Another thing as well with Tony Ferguson is that he just couldn't accept that he was gone. Listen to all this nonsense. It is what it is. We'll be back. I'm far from done. The only thing that's hurt is my ego and my rep. You don't lose if you learn. This journey ain't over yet. People talk shit because they don't understand. I'm built differently. I don't quit. It's pathetic, Tony. Get a grip. And now we have to watch him lose to Salt Papi. Because, look, Salt Papi's not like a big fighter. Salt Papi's not like this unbelievable boxer, right? But compared to the MISFITS guys, he's extremely competent and he's got great hands. I really do think that Salt Papi's going to knock him out. We don't really see very often MMA fighters transition well into pure boxing. And especially with the skid that Tony Ferguson's been on, he hasn't won a fight since 2020. He's old, he's washed, and he's going in with a young, hungry, powerful, fast boxer. And again, he's not a real boxer, but he's good enough. I mean, obviously, he's gonna get paid a fortune, bro. He's gonna be getting paid a bag for this fight. 12-fight win streak, one of the longest win streaks in lightweight history. And then he loses one fight, and then he now has the longest losing streak in history, I'm pretty sure, or in lightweight history. One of those two at 8. You just don't know when to start, man. I don't know how much CTE Tony Ferguson wants, but he's going to get all of it. You know what I mean? He's going to get all the CTE, and he's going to be in the nursing home when he's older, rocking back and forth, accepting fights with residents. That's a breakdown of the downfall of Tony Ferguson. Alright, it's sad to see. I'm not going to be watching this MISFITS card. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Tony get slapped again. And if Tony Ferguson comes out and beats Salt Papi, that'll be cinema. Absolute cinema. But I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. I don't think Tony's there mentally, physically. I mean, for fuck's sake, in his last fight, or was it his fight against Paddy Pimblett, his fight camp was doing cardio with David Goggins. Your problem was never cardio, Tony. Your problem now is getting punched in the face. So, I don't know if David Goggins is going to really help you with that. It's like you struggle maintaining a pace for 5 rounds. Why are you doing a cardio-heavy fight camp, you utter mong? And that's where the downfall ends. Will Tony Ferguson beat Salt Papi? I don't know. I really don't know. I hope he does. Don't see it happening. And then, who will Tony Ferguson fight after this? Maybe he'll fight fucking Slim. Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul next. Maybe Jake Paul will snatch that one up. Add another old, retired, washed MMA fighter to his boxing resume. That'd be great to see. Especially one that we all love. That'd be awesome, Jake. That'd be sick. Please do that. I know I've been laughing and joking, but this is a sad downfall. It really is. From being on top of the world to right at the bottom, rock bottom. It's not very often that we see that. We've seen it, and we're continuing to see it in real time. If I was Tony, I'd probably have called it quits after the Gaethje fight.